Live. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, now I know I'm live. So your channel. There we go. We'll turn on Do Not Disturb. Okay, Do Not Disturb. Bum, 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 bum. Garbage trucks are coming. I figured I would take you on a ride this morning of what my pre-market looks like. And most of you guys on YouTube Live see this on a daily basis, but we're going to close that. Oh, we're going to go to Earnings Whisper. Where's my Earnings Whisper? There it is. Before the bell, we're going to look at aftermarket close. Disney earnings. AMC earnings. Upstart earnings. Oxy earnings. Do I want Novavax? Mara earnings. Lemonade is one I've done in the past. Do I want to look at Lemonade? Let me see. Let's look at Lemonade. Has it been beaten down enough? ND. Let's see. See, Lemonade heading into earnings, it sucks. Heading out of earnings, it sucks. Yeah, this is just bad. Let me look at Norwegian Cruise Lines Live. Norwegian Cruise Lines reported this morning. What is Norwegian Cruise Line symbol? Let's see. Norwegian Cruise. NCLH. They reported a loss, but I guess it's better. It lost narrows, yeah. You can't see this. Let's go over to here. This is what I'm doing. See over here in the quote window, you get a bunch of notes as well. Oh, God. I'm going to be doing that all freaking day. I had oatmeal again. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to light ourselves up a little bit more. I think I like that a little bit more. So I don't have to... That looks horrible. Let's see. I'm going to be sniffing. I didn't do cocaine this morning. I swear. But look at all these earnings. We're going to go back to Safari View. During earnings season, I guess you could call it a season, I go to Earnings Whisper, earningswhispers.com. And I kind of look for names that I recognized. And when I say recognize, you can look at these numbers, the expected. I'm looking for growth. I'm looking for expectations. And if we just look at before market open for today, it shows you the actual results. So you had 955% growth, but that's because they were shut down for a long time. Squarespace. Anybody's on YouTube knows Squarespace. Planet Fitness is PLNT. Let's look at that one, because that's an interesting one. I, as a non-gym member, have not. Oh God, look at that bump. It's from 61 to 66. So they beat. So yeah, you can see they beat by 68%. On the earnings per share, 58%, but on the top line revenue. So they beat. But then you go to the aftermarket close, and like just the top probably 5. Affirm's one that I don't know that I necessarily want to see how it's losing money, Upstart losing money, AMC losing money. But it's more just, hey, what are people interested in on this website? So it's a good website to look at, but I think I'll leave it at that. And we will go to scans. I'm going to do some scans in TrendSpider. So you go over here to Market Scanner. By the way, if you don't have TrendSpider and you want a 7-day trial, look in the link below. There's a link tree. And there's a link to a free 7-day trial. They will have their Black Friday sale, which I believe is 50% off. They just had a Halloween sale with 55% off. It wasn't much money, so I didn't bitch at them. But their customer service top notch. I complained about the price. They immediately told me, hey, it's for new customers, not for existing customers. We're trying to make sure that new customers get a better deal. And they were super sweet about it. The answer, it was $7. I wasn't going to bitch and complain. Where's my Karen hat? Where's my Karen wig? Can I speak to a manager, please? Yeah, this is Lemonade on the... Oh, God. Do I have to relog out? Let me log out and log back in. Because it's going slow. I think they've just got me on a... And if you can guess that password, good luck to you. I use a password manager. Don't hack me. Don't at me. Don't do anything of the sort. This is only 30 stocks that it looks like, down 30. I think it's the same 5-6 people that show up and watch this. But I'm about to do, for anybody new that's listening on YouTube, about to do my podcast. But this is just the pre-game. This is like NFL when you're out at the in the parking lot before the game. This is the pregame. We're looking for stocks that have a good setup. I use a MACD strategy. And essentially this scan, all it is a MACD cross up on a 4-hour chart. I like 4-hour charts. I forget which one. There is I think it's 65-minute chart that TrendSpider recommends, and they have tons and tons of data behind it for traders. So 65, you can go on their YouTube channel, TrendSpider's YouTube channel, and take a look. They've got some great videos. But if you're wondering why I use MACD, and there's no Dow 30s that crossed up. If you're wondering why I use MACD, just go into YouTube and search Trading Rush MACD, and you'll see the back testing from the channel Trading Rush. Big fan of Trading Rush. I like them. UPS has a nice cross up. FedEx, nice cross up. C Limited, this one's just been look, it's using that 200-day as support, as resistance. So I don't want to look at one that kind of is on that ski slope, even though right before earnings. Annaly Capital. You probably have this MACD cross up is what you're really looking at. I don't know that it got you out. I don't like it. Don't like it. Sorry, garbage truck outside. Now we go into the ARK Holdings. And by the way, if you have a TrendSpider subscription, this is real easy to do. And it doesn't have my algorithm. It's just a MACD cross up. That's all I'm looking for. Because the entry on most of these stocks is just a MACD cross up. I don't even know that one. And this is probably I don't like that chart. So what I do is I take a look at these cross ups. Oh, and by the way, Teledyne. Wait, Teledyne Technologies Incorporated. This is a different one than TDN or TER, which is what I own. Teradyne and Teledyne. This is Teledyne. God. This is like, you ever notice a celebrity? What's that famous clip where the guy on Channel 5 in LA mistakes, somebody for some black actor for another black actor, and the black actor's like, yeah, we all look the same. I mean, obvious. It wasn't trying to be racist, but it was a super embarrassing moment. So when TER and TDY, okay, I'm going to look at the NASDAQ 100. AVGO. If you haven't noticed, chips are going crazy. Not crazy, but 1% or so. NVIDIA. Let's put that in. Let's say NVIDIA, new chip that meets USA export to China restrictions. That's a good story, by the way, if you haven't heard it. IDXX. I don't like that one. Siri. It's covered the gap. This one would have been nice to get it down here. Here. Okay, we're on the NASDAQ 100. Watch. We'll run this one. Sirius is an interesting one. It just crossed up again. You got out with only a 4%. Oh, because it's so tight. Yeah, it's not great. See, it's using that 200-day as resistance. Every time it goes over it, it's just brought right back down to it. It's what's known as a trading range. Okay, we're going to go from the NASDAQ 100 down to the S&P 100. And then we'll go energy. Because my belief is that energy sector is still the best one. BLK BlackRock. MACD's too high. Danaher. Oh, this one looks like it might be juicy, but it's after earnings. There's no real catalyst here. So why do I want this? I don't know why I'd want this. I don't like it. This was the big winner yesterday, VTRS. Okay, let's go to energy. So look at all these that you can scan. I mean, just crazy how much you can scan in this. By the way, hit that thumbs up button. I'm 13 minutes in. I'm going to try and do a 30 to 40 minute podcast today. Probably won't happen. I'm going to get long-winded again, I'm sure. The hell is NOG? Northern Oil and Gas. Probably should have known that. Coming up on earnings. Booyah. I hate that Jim Cramer took Booyah. Alvin, I'll look at LMT for you. Let me just wait for this energy one to finish. It's going a little slow. Good morning, by the way. Look at all these energy ones that I have no clue. Oh, earnings. Nah, that one's not a good one. SMLP. This is like MPLX, which I own. Boy, that gap up there. Would have been nice to get this at 13, right? knowing that that gap up top might get filled. Ooh, there's more gaps. Looky here. Do I want this for a scan, though? This one looks juicy. I just don't know. It's a... Let's put it in. This one's up 4% pre-market. I don't like it. See, this is the problem, that a lot of this stuff just... I don't know the companies. You don't know the management team. It's typically what I want to do is make sure that I know a little bit about the stock, enough so that when I go to FinViz, I'm not looking like a moron. Because let's look at MLT. UFA. You had good earnings. Alvin, this one's run too much. And look, I'll go over it. You know what? Rather than do it here, I'm going to do it on the podcast for you, Alvin. For Alvin. It's a good-looking stock. And trust me, Lockheed is one that, shit, you invest in, you forget about it. Defense contracts. There's a great My First Millions podcast with the guy who invented Oculus. I will find it after I do my podcast, and I will link it in the chat window. What's interesting about it is he started a defense company, and he talks about how defense companies get their contracts and develop things like Lockheed Martin. This one was a stock that, up here, 470, beaten down. You just never knew where it was going to go. But from 432, you're starting to get that button hook. You had the MACD cross down. Your RSI is going on the way down. Question is, do we have a second leg to this run? I don't know. It's still got confirmations above that 9-day. It's within the Bollinger Bands. And you had that golden cross right here, the 50-day above the 200-day. So let me see what the big market movers in my portfolio are. ARKG, AMD. Let's look at AMD. Does AMD... That had a cross up. I know it. Yeah. Down here at 58. And you're at 63. Good move. It's going to fill that gap. See that gap between 64 and 67? I'll look at AMD. Why not? SOXL too. Let's look at SOXL before I press record, because I think SOXL still has room. Yeah, another MACD cross up at 927. See, it got you out with a 20% gain. Got you right back in. The RSI may be a little bit high. Yeah, and that's what moves Lockheed. That's where our senators and our representatives, if you watch Nancy Pelosi Tracker or any of those government insight ones, if you see large buys from senators, you know shit's going on, because those fuckers do all insider trading. Don't get me started on election day. I have to remember to do that. Holy crap. Now, just talking with you guys, my freaking list has just gone crazy. I had like 4 stocks to talk about now. Now, just sitting here. Again, when you sit down and you do kind of the pre-research, you can find anything. By the way, let's look at BOIL real quick. Let's look at my favorite. And I'll talk about why I'm getting beaten up in the comment section on private messages. Look at that. You know what's moving? When you see BOIL crash under 50 like that, should have sold it at 50. That 10%, 15, 20% move, whatever it was yesterday, wherever you bought it, look at KOLD. It's not moving as much as BOIL, which is interesting. Both of these are traded on the future, so that's an interesting one as BOIL moves down. Okay. I'm going to the Safari view. Oh, and my oatmeal. I hope you guys eat well. No ma'am. No ma'am. No. You're good. You're good. Go on. Go on. Outside. No. Go on. Go on. I love you. I love you lots. Yes. Were you just playing with the other one? There's the other one. Go outside. Go on. Go. They usually listen. Anybody watching, you guys get the benefit of hearing me yell at the dogs, do all that. Podcast, a little bit edited, not too much. Okay, let's see. We're going to hit record. I think it sounds good. Yeah, maybe it's a little overmodulated, but fuck it. Do I have that turned all the way down? I do. Let me look at my compressor. Gain's only at 8. I guess it's okay. Okay, I'll hit record. Good morning. It's Tuesday, November 8th. It is election day. I think you should vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just vote. If you complain about politics and you don't vote, I ignore you. Simple as that. I was just on YouTube Live. It is 21 minutes in, so as you listen to the podcast, just remember, I say something at minute 20, you're going to look at minute 41 if you want to see the chart. That's how I try and get everybody to use this. What I was doing was I went to Earnings Whispers, and I looked at, okay, let's look at aftermarket. If you go to Earnings Whisper and you look at their calendar, BMO is before market open, AMC is after market close. You can look at all of them. You can sort them however you want. You can look at the standard view. Typically, the most popular ones are up there. And I'll go over some of these charts. Disney, AMC, Upstart, Occidental, Affirm. I don't think I put Affirm in. I will put Affirm in because I do think Affirm is one. As investors, we like to basically invest in things that we don't mind holding on to. Things that have good management teams, things that have solid earnings, things that have products that we use. As traders, we're just looking for volatility. And that's why BOIL was such a great stock to trade. And it continues to be a great stock to trade. You are down in pre-market on BOIL down to 46 from the 50s. You absolutely should have sold in the 50s. If you bought here at 39 and you got to 50, don't be greedy. Sell that motherfucker. Sorry for the language. My apologies. But you've got to sell it. In that type of move, if you get that lucky to get that type of move in a day, do not be greedy. Sell it. Sell it. Take your profits. I don't care if it goes to 60 the next day. Never be ashamed to take your profits. That is one. Personally, I got asked, I think 10, 15, maybe 20 times yesterday in direct messages, did I buy BOIL? F no. Ugh. And it again, I didn't buy oil back here in June, in July. July when it went from 44 and you made almost 100% in this first run. Dipped down. You got that button hook. Didn't get you out, but it got you right back in. Yeah. So I didn't get in. I need to, but I've got a different, and I talk about this on previous podcasts, I've got a different tax situation than most of you. I don't work. I stay low income. I probably should have traded this in my retirement accounts, but I'm a little bit more conservative in my retirement accounts. So I didn't do it. But again, for investors, you want companies, the first one like we see here, Disney. We're going to look at their earnings probably tomorrow. They report after the bell today. The algorithm got you out here at $3.78 from 97. Had that classic button hook that my algorithm always has, and it just got you out. Now you've got a gap up here between 101. It's probably pennies. That's what it looks like. It really looks like it's 100 to 101. I think it covers that 101 today. I would get it under 100. This is a company that you could trade if you wanted to. The algorithm makes you 0.79%. Buying and holding loses you 28.93%. So just to be clear, my algorithm back tests over 1,000 candles. So 500 trading days before. And what it does is it says, okay, let's find your entry points based on a certain criteria. Let's find your exit points based on a certain criteria. Well, over 1,000 candles, this gets you in and out 31 different times, 31 different positions. You win 26% of the time. The average win is 7%. Right now, you'd be out of it. The MACD is not crossing up anytime soon, but I think this earnings period is good enough to say, hey, what's Disney doing? They're launching their ad-based program. ESPN is said to be in negotiation for the NFL Sunday ticket from a streaming standpoint. This is a good stock. Again, I in my mind, I think it's put in enough of a support around 100. You could go down to the 80s if we have a significant downturn. But I think for the long term, if you want the stock, I think this is a good one. If we go and we look at Disney, their PE is 57. It's high. But if you're a parent, tell me which kid doesn't want to go to Disney World. And when you do go to Disney World as a parent, which one of you spends less than $10,000? And I may be exaggerating there, but Guggenheim in August, the latest analyst to upgrade this one, went from neutral to buy, and their price target is went from 110 to 145. You're trading at about 100, and those are professionals who are helped to identify the actual price. Year to date, it's down 35%. Your 52-week range is between 90 and 179, so you never really got to the 80s. You're 11% off your 52-week low. You're 43% below your 52-week high. That's just 1 year snapshot. So I do think that you're looking at look at this, multiple bottom. Just go on Finviz. You're seeing a multiple bottom right there. And it's provided a significant amount of support between 95 and 100. So if you can get it between 95 and 100 before earnings, I think you should buy in. One podcast favorite that I bring up, and I've told you that I've traded a lot before, and I did bring up, hey, we had a cross up. Ironically, yesterday on earnings, you had that button hook and it got you out. But if you got in on this at 200, Sedge, SEDG, it's a solar company. If you got in this at 200, right now you're trading. Let me look at Sedge in Active Trader Pro. I won't switch it over, but Sedge is trading at 240. Kudos, high fives, butt smacks, whatever you want. 240. They blew it away on earnings, and they raised their guidance. So if we bring this volume shelf here to its most recent highs, you can see there's significant. If we go up to the 240 mark right here, there's not a lot of support here. So the question is, at 240, are we going back down to the 230s, which it actually just did, 238? Or are we going to this volume shelf up here at the 300s? I think at some point you go to those 300s. Let's look at Solar Edge. They have an 82 PE. They forward PE of 23. 25% down year to date. You are 11% above your 52-week low, which was 190. You're 45% below your 52-week high, which was 389. Super, super volatile stock. Our algorithm loses you 28% versus just buying and holding loses you 8%. Over 1,000 candles, you have 30 positions. You win 40% of the time. Your average win is 8.62. In my mind, anything at 200, you buy this one. Anything at 300, you sell it. I mean, that's a huge, huge range, but I think it's justified by the chart. So that was the big mover of the day. Another earnings that's coming up after the bell, AMC. This is your retail trader favorite. It makes no money. It loses money. This is total hype play. Adam Aram will probably come on and talk about a huge mine purchase, a coin, the fact that they just did a deal with Zoom that allows them to create Zoom rooms in AMC theaters. You got this gap up here between 13 and 17. You're on the downside. There's no support here. If you want to trade this, be careful. You can clearly see it's oversold. People are just selling it. And the MACD is not really crossing up. It's just kind of hovering. Earnings are coming up after the bell. One that I've traded in the past, I do not own anymore. That has no support whatsoever, but might be a highly volatile stock upon earnings, is Upstart. And this is the one that allows, I believe this is the one that has loans. Let's see, I believe it is. UPST is the symbol. You are 1% below your 52-week low. 1881. You're setting 52-week lows on this one. It's just continuing. Look at the trend line. It's just continuing to go down. They have a PE of 2020. October 25th, Mizuho initiated coverage with an underperformed price target of 17. That's the most recent analyst. Why Upstart stock is falling today from a Motley Fool article. Here's the insider trading. They've sale. No insiders buying this one. I mean, literally nobody's buying it. So I don't know, but it could be a huge mover. This is one that's traded. Our algorithm loses you 63% versus buying and holding for 1,000 candles loses you 30%. There's 31 positions. You win 26% of the time. Your average win is 39.43%. That's the average win. So it moves a lot. One that I do own and that reports today after the bell is Occidental Petroleum. This is a Warren Buffett favorite. And by the way, Buffett announced that, I should say Berkshire announced that I think 70%, 80% of their actual investments in Berkshire are concentrated in 5 stocks. Apple, Coke, Bank of America, American Express, and I think it's Occidental. I don't only think Occidental is in there. But we had the cross up at 61.22. You're looking at not a button hook at any point in time. My guess is these guys announce phenomenal earnings. I don't want to say that you could absolutely buy in. You've got this gap down here between 62 and 62.60. The RSI is significantly high at 68. The MACD is crossing up again. The volume has since moved down. You can clearly see if we move the volume shelf here to its most recent highs, the support level here is at 66. You're at 75. It's up 0.42% in the pre-market. Energy's still going. The other one that I kind of like, and I don't know why, because you've had the button hook, you've gotten out with a loss. You could have made a gain, but did get you out with a loss on the algorithm, is Mara. Lovely Mara. You're going in with an RSI at 36. You're going in with the MACD crossing, down. You'd be out of this stock. You have no support. See, it's on the bottom side of the 9-day. The 50-day is kind of moving in, conjunction with or just close to the 200-day. It's still above it. You're hugging that 200-day line, and it's below the 200-day line. So whether they announce this is a crypto miner MARA is the symbol. I like this one, but the algorithm says you shouldn't be in it. Now, the algorithm makes you 357% on this stock. Buying and holding makes you 382%. Your average win, well, I should say 28 positions, you win 30% of the time. But your average win is 121%. This is a super volatile stock. It trades in crypto because it goes right along almost exactly with the Bitcoin chart. You've been on a downward trending slope. You're starting to trend upward again. And this is on a 4-hour chart. You're starting to trend upward. So it's one to look at. I'll look at it again tomorrow. Another one that is super volatile on earnings, is not making money, has no support going into earnings, but the RSI is down, could surprise, is Affirm, AFRM. This is 26 positions. You lose 59%. In the algorithm, you lose 83% buying and holding. Your average win is 26%. If I could tell you that 1 in 4 times you'd win 26% on a trade, you might take it. But it doesn't set up very well going into this earnings. Previous earnings, you can see right here, kind of dipped down. This one kind of stayed the same, then had a bump up and down. It's just not consistent, but I bring it up. So you guys know Boyle, big move yesterday, kind of talked about it a little bit. You're still in it. Let's look at its opposite, KOLD, on the algorithm. You're out of KOLD. Doesn't look like the MACD's crossing up anytime soon, so I'd probably stay in Boyle. These trade inversely. The last trade that we had in KOLD, 1383, you got out with a 34% gain, but you absolutely could have sold up here at 26 instead of selling out at about 20. So significant more if you just kind of take your profits. When you have these types of moves, anytime I see that button hook, I'm like, on a trade, remember, identify the stock that you're buying. This is your hard-earned money. Don't throw money in and then hope. You've got to identify what you want out of this trade. If it is something like Apple and you're just going to buy it and hold it, you don't care what my algorithm says. You're up at 140 right now. I've never traded this one, but trading makes you 31% over 1,000 candles versus 17%, which is buy and holding. But I don't trust myself that I'm going to be able to get in and get out. Look at this one. I mean, June 22nd, buying at 134. You ran all the way up to 170. Look at this. You're down in this area, neck of the woods again. You've got some support here at a bottom. There is a 120, kind of 125 support level. So be aware of that one, that if we do take a turn lower and people start selling. One of the things that a lot of analysts are warning about, in that I've read, is that we're coming up on the end of the year, and with a lot of these FANG stocks and big tech stocks being not doing so great and identified as maybe they're not going to perform as well and be the leaders going forward, there might be some tax loss harvesting where essentially, like for instance, you guys know I lost a lot of money in BABA. I may sell BABA before the end of the year. And then what I'll do is I'll take my Apple stock, where I've made a lot of money, and just sell it so that I don't have to pay any taxes. Take the loss on BABA, sell the same amount of gain. Boom, I'm at a zero. And I can take that money, that capital money that I've got, and deploy it somewhere else. Put it into Boyle. Or, YOLO it on Snowflake. But yeah. By the way, I am going to be much more active in the private Facebook group. If you click on the link tree, there's a Facebook link up top. It'll take you to a Facebook group. It's private. I'm monitoring it. I think we have 30 or so people, getting you people to actually click on something. I have got thousands of listeners. I know this. I've got hundreds of YouTube subscribers, hundreds of, getting you guys to a different platform. It's a little bit difficult. It's like pulling teeth, but this is a private group. Don't worry about it. I'll make it as private as I can. You can check it once a week. I won't post a ton in there, but any questions that you pose to me, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll be happy to kind of assist you in anything that you need trading wise. Earnings whisper. Oh, Cloud Stocks 5.9. 5.9 reported, and they gave very bad guidance, FIVN. And cloud stocks just have been killed. And you can see, even before earnings, the stock was below the Bollinger Bands down here. It cinched up right here. See this big move down? And then you see the little Bollinger Band cinch up, and then they're expanding. But when they expand either way down or way up. You don't know which, but when they cinch up like this, it's going to make a move. You can see, boom. It was cinching up all the way down, and then it did this little up move to really cinch up, and then you get a crash. And look at the volume, by the way. I think that was a pre-announcement or something. But 5.9 reported they missed. Another one that reported that missed big was Lyft. And if you remember yesterday, I brought up Uber. I'm going to see where Uber is trading in pre-market. It's at 20. It closed at 27.69. It's trading at 27.70. So it really hasn't been touched. But Lyft announced that they saw a decrease in the user base. Now, the difference is Lyft is very focused on just rideshare. They're very focused here in North America. And Uber, on the other hand, has Uber Eats. They've got Uber Freight. They are much more of a diversified business, plus it's worldwide. So in my mind, if you're going to pick one of the two, I think you pick Uber. And I think you could trade Uber easily. And I've said this yesterday. I think if you can get closer to 25, I think that's the better play, because I do think it'll trade between 25 and 30, and you can trade in and out of this one. I don't think right now Uber is stable enough to be a Apple where you just buy it and hold it. Your average win on Uber is 8.44%. So I do think that you have an opportunity to trade in and out of this one, and specifically with Lyft saying that they've lost the amount of daily riders. I think they're just losing it to Uber, honestly. They claimed higher revenue, which means they were charging higher prices, but higher prices may have meant that more people went to Uber who didn't have as high prices. So NVIDIA is one. I'm going to look at NVIDIA just because of their announcement. They announced that they developed a chip that meets the USA export to China restrictions. This is one, we had a buy-in here at 123, you're at 143. So it's been a really great move. You don't have a button hook. It's coming up on this 200-day. That 200-day right about 150 is going to provide you some significant resistance. Look at what it did back in August. Hit that 200-day. We had this nice 12% win, which easily could have been a 15 to 20% win. Maybe I won't even calculate it, but say from 157 up to 200, 30% win. But got you out with a 12% win, got you right back in, got you out with a 9% loss. But that 200-day, you just touched it. This one down here at 123, it's coming back up on the 200-day. 150 is where the 200-day is. If it hits 150, I would say you get out. Do not try and YOLO this one all the way to 200. I just don't think it's going to do that. And the reason I don't think it's going to do that is because the PE is still significantly high. It's at 46. You're 32% above your 52-week low, which was 108. And I can't imagine that this one goes well above the 200-day and then just takes off. And that's on a 4-hour chart. Again, it's a 4-hour chart. The most recent analyst, September 8th, Stifel, they said hold their price target is 165. I think it hits 165 at some point. I just don't know that it's on this run. This run is a really, really strong run, but they do have a catalyst coming up November 16th. Another one that's moving today, AMD is up by 2% in the pre-market. They've already announced. They announced back on November 1st. There's no real catalyst on this one. it's just kind of moving along. The buy-in was at $59. You're at 63, kind of steadily moving up. The 200 days at 78, still a good amount of movement. You've got this gap here between 64 and 67. Could move up there. Could move up there to fill that gap. You're at 63, you get to 67, $4 move, almost 10%. The problem with AMD, again, if we get one of these shots in the arm with high inflation, and I think it's released tomorrow, October inflation, you're going to get this one. This one's at 26. Remember, the assumption is that chip stocks have just had an over-ordering. They have an inventory issue, and they are going to see a glut of supply, which will bring the prices down. So at 26, you're not going to grow your revenue as much. That's a high PE, and it wants it at 17. So that's a big one. One that I looked for Alvin on YouTube was Lockheed Martin. He mentioned they just got a $765 million government contract. And if you don't see that there's some insider trading going on here, look at that move. And then all of a sudden they announce, we've got a 765. Yeah. Let's see which senators and which representatives bought during this period. Probably quite a few. Because those contracts go on for years on end. And now we've got the ability to do it. And I mentioned to Alvin also, make sure to listen to, there's a My First Millions podcast with the Oculus founder. And he started a defense company, a drone defense company. And he's got contracts. And he talks about the contract, how he got his contract with the government and how people kind of fund things, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty amazing. I liked it. I probably won't invest in these companies, but there's a couple of reasons. A, I don't like businesses that are based on government contracts. B, don't like war machines. It's kind of like Tom yesterday. He had mentioned there's a couple of private prison stocks that were really taking off. Not my thing. I'd if there were a private prison company that was incented and paid for based on rehabilitating prisoners back into society as quickly as possible. Meaning, people didn't wind up back in prison. People had jobs when they got out of prison, meaning that 7-year terms for something that like drug possession, got reduced down to 4 years, and then 2 years later, the person is still out of prison, productive, earning money, paying taxes. It's the kind of prison I'd like to see. Versus the private prisons of today are incented to lock as many people up for as long as they can. And, hey, repeat business. We're just going to throw you out to the wolves. So I'm not a big prison guy. So I don't, condemn anybody that invests in them. You can make money. Go ahead. But if I were doing things, it'd be a little bit different. So we talked about the chips, Lockheed Martin. Oh, boy, that was a bummer. SOXL, we got another buy-in. Remember yesterday I said, hey, it got you out with a 20% gain? Got a buy-in at $9.27. You're at $9.60 in pre-market. SOXL still has some legs in it, I think. With NVIDIA going up, with AMD going up, with some earnings catalysts coming up, I think you could easily get SOXL. I would not go to SOXXS yet. And remember, these are two triple levered ETFs. Just one is long, one is short. SOXL is long, SOXS is short. The short one got you out with a 20% loss. And it hasn't gotten you back in. It's not like it's crossing back up like SOXL is. Just SOXL has some beef. Who's got the beef? SOXL has got the beef. Cleveland Cliffs said yesterday it was going to get it. It got the MACD cross up, 1365. 1365. let's go over the scans, and then I'll look at some energy stocks because I do think energy stocks are big ones. My personal portfolio, American Eagle Outfitters, is up 2% in pre-market. Got a cross up. I'm not saying that this is a buy. It is going to use that 200-day as its probably resistance like it has before. I am suckered into this one with Jim Cramer. YOLO. Their earnings are coming up November 21st. I can't imagine that these guys announce good earnings. I've got some money in here. I had a 10-15% profit on this one when I first bought it. Was greedy, didn't take it, thought it could go up more. I didn't sell it. I am now down probably 50-something%. So this one hurts, but it's cross up today. I don't know that it's a fairly good company. Talk to your teenagers, see if they're wearing American Eagle Outfitters. When I bought it last year, my friend's daughter said, "Oh yeah, we wear it. We wear it all the time." 2 weeks later, it's crap. Typical teenager. UPS has a cross up here at 169. Their catalyst is that November 10th, their dividend gets paid out. The reason why I bring this one up, I think it's a really, really well-run company. Its PE is only 13. October 25th, Jefferies resumed coverage with a $190 price target. You're trading at 169. This is a bellwether. This is a Dow stock. This is something that it will not move a ton. The algorithm makes you 14% on this one versus buying and holding makes you 2%. It's got a decent dividend of 3.59%. You win 36% of the time, and your average win is 6%. This is just gearing up to hit that 200-day again, up here at 181. So I can't tell you that it's a fantastic one. If you look at the insiders, they're selling, they're not buying. So again, UPS, I ship in Amazon packages. If we look at FedEx, just to compare, this is the biggest comparison. FedEx PE is 11. So, and they're down at 159. This is one that I probably wouldn't buy because there's more problems at FedEx than there is UPS. UPS is just a decent shipper. One that Tom brought up yesterday that he likes that's moving again is Zim. It does have a MACD cross up here at 24.45. Be careful with this one. This is a lot of hype play, I believe. And if you do get hype play, you're coming back up here to 40s. But I just, remember, their PE is 0.48. Their dividend is huge. They pay an enormous dividend. Downgrade August 22nd, downgrade from Citigroup with no kind of price target. It is what it is. It's a shipper, just like UPS. But UPS had a cross up. On top of that, FedEx, same thing, cross up. I think in my mind, you probably have a bigger opportunity in FedEx. But what you have to realize is FedEx is more risky, meaning FedEx is just not as good a business as UPS. And when I say you have more opportunity, look at this. 165 to 202 is this gap. I don't know that you're necessarily filling it. You've made some money on the last two trades. The algorithm loses you 36%. Buying and holding this one loses you 39%. Your average win is only 4%. I can't imagine FedEx does something now, between now and December 15th when they announce earnings, to say, hey, we've got record amounts of shipments. Boom, you're back at 200. I can't see it. There's a new CEO in place. He could have tanked on the last earnings. He pre-announced, and that's where you saw the gap down. He said earnings just would not be as good. And you can see even through earnings, it just continued down. So this may be the climb back. It might be a long climb back, but it is a climb back. Speaking of chips, Broadcom, which is Stephanie Link's, I think, favorite. 436 cross up here at October 18th. Their earnings are coming up on December 8th. you've got a pretty decent move. This is a secondary cross up, hasn't got you out from that 436. So it's a secondary cross up and maybe a secondary leg up. So you do have confirmation. You're kind of touching the top of that Bollinger Band. SMLP, which is Summit Midstream Partners. This is one that the reason I brought this up is it's got these gaps. It covered the first gap, but it's got this fairly big gap here between $21.50 and $22.92. You're trading at $20.20 right now. Look at the run. I mean, just September 30th, you could have bought this at 14, and you're already up at 20. If this covers the gap, you still have 10% to move. This is similar to my MPLX. It's in the energy space. I don't think energy is oversold. You don't have any catalyst with this one. I just wanted to bring it up so you can see. You've got a gap up here that could be filled. You are kind of hugging that 200-day, and in the past, it's used that 200-day as a resistance, but it blew through it. So I don't know. Let's see. If we go back to that gap, let's bring the volume shelf back to that gap and see if people are still holding from there. No, you really don't have any support up here. So let me bring it back a little bit here. Yeah, see, it's starting to build it up here, but it just hasn't built it. There's a shelf up here at 23, but it seems like a good one. Again, I just bring it up because the gap's up there. Energy. Viper. Huge dividend. They announced yesterday. I think they beat. You still have confirmation. You're outside the Bollinger Bands. It's going to be down probably today, but I still like that one. COP, ConocoPhillips. Like I said, a lot of these have already reported. You do have confirmation. Energy still going up. Some oil is going down because of China. China's still in their zero COVID policy. Devon Energy, I'm showing right now. It's got you out of it, but I can't imagine that you actually should be out of it. I'm still in, personally. I'm waiting for that dividend. That dividend X date is the next catalyst, December 9th. And they've got a good dividend. Highest dividend payer on the S&P. XOM, I'm still at this one. You're at 52-week highs. 113. I remember at 105, I told somebody to get out of this one. They got a good profit, but it was right before earnings. And then, boom, they blew away earnings. And 105 to 113, it's not a huge move, but I'm still in it. I've got it. I've got a lot of this one. Probably have to trim it. CVX, this one announced earnings, still good, 185. Pivot point for me is still 160 on this one. So I think it could come back to 160. FANG, huge dividend, 11% dividend, I believe. This one had earnings. They announced great earnings. It's up again. And Pioneer Natural Resources, PXD. This is one, look, it's kind of cinching up here. Got you out with a 17% gain. There is a gap here between 226 and 219. They've announced their earnings, so I can't believe the catalyst brings it all the way down here. Not in one shot, but there could be more than one shot. Saudis all of a sudden drill more oil. They have their next dividend is November 29th when the dividend gets paid. Their next catalyst, I should say. So you've got options. Let's look at one that I wanted was brought up yesterday. I'm not going to install OBS update. I will update that later. Is Uvixi. And Uvixi is one that I've loved in the past. I still love it below 10. Still think it's a great buy below 10. The VIX right now is at 24. The VIX wants to be at 30. And the VIX at some point between now and December will go to 30. And this stock will be at 13. It is traded on the futures. So it is a decaying asset. It will never kind of, make you money in the long term. This is something that you don't hold on to for more than a week, 2 week. You trade it on a day. It's very particular. You got to identify your needs, your wants, your targets. But I just, UVixy, the VIX was up. I think it was slightly down yesterday. The VIX just hasn't been moving. And so at some point it will move. Maybe it's on, next Fed rate day on December. Maybe it moves from, 934 up to 15. Who knows? But it's one to keep an eye on. In the algorithm, you'll see UVixy's inverse is XSVixy. Neither one has a ton of movement of late. You can see UVixy got you out with a 15% gain here. It went from 10 up to about 13, 14. Got you out. There's this gap here between 12 and 13. I think that needs to get filled. But you're on the downside of the 9-day. It's got no catalyst to move up. SVixy, on the other hand, this trades in the 50s. This is a little less volatile. You had a buy-in here at 49. You've got your 10%. You're at 53. Good move. Looks like it's crossing down. The RSI is significantly high at 70. So I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. Tesla talked about how if it moved under 200, it was one to watch, that the gap down at 140 may get filled. I still kind of believe that. I think this one, when we look at I think it's a daily. Let's look at the daily. And we bring it back. See? That gap right there, 136 to 146. I think that gets close to touched. And I don't want to say that it gets close to touch on this run. It might move up, but right now you're well below that 9-day. You're well below the 200 days. It's 274. You got this gap up here, but remember, as a stock is moving downward, a lower gap is more of a magnet than an upper gap. So if we take this back here to the recent highs, let's move this volume shelf over here, and then we'll move that. You can see clearly you have no support down here. Well, that's just because it hasn't been traded back there. Let's move it back to its gap. Let's look at a weekly, and then we'll go back to a daily. Just got to reset the chart. Reset the chart. Move back. We'll move that back there. We'll bring this back here a little bit. You have see, everybody between here and here has sold out already. So people have traded this one, but it's down 1.5%. Let's see if I got any double-digit movers in the pre-market. I don't. AMD's up 2%. I think that's it. You got a 41-minute podcast today. I think that's good. Hit me up on YouTube. Hit me up on socials. Thank you to all of the supporters. Let me know if there's something I can do for you. Let me know if there's something, if you wanted me to kind of take a look at a stock for you, let me know. If you want to, tip me because you made some money, hit me up in the socials. That link tree has all my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all that stuff. Tip me. If you want to support me monthly, go on to the Anchor stuff and pay me monthly. If you want to follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I still like Twitter. I haven't noticed a huge difference. I am not paying $8, by the way. Love Elon Musk. I don't need a blue check mark. I love his response, by the way, to AOC. I thought it was brilliant. I am an AOC fan. She is, if I were rating AOC, she's a Senate 50 on a 1 to 10 scale. I like her. I think some of her stuff is just outlandishly crazy, some of her ideas, but I think we need some people like that. Just like I think we need people like that on the right and the left. You've always had it. I just wish there were more people in the center. And that's it. Go out there and vote. I gave you 20 minutes. I didn't do an hour today. Take that 20 minutes. Go and vote. Vote. Vote, damn it. If you're in Louisiana, by the way, who is this guy? He's running against Kennedy, who I am not a fan of whatsoever, by the way. Gary Chambers. I like him. I like him a lot. And he brings up great points. He was saying, hey, Kennedy won Louisiana with 500-something thousand votes. Well, there's like 900,000 black voters in Tennessee, of which only 40% vote. If he got every black voter out there to actually vote, registered voter to vote, and vote for him, and you shouldn't base your vote on color, but he brings up a good point. Don't let a senator call your people crackheads like Kennedy did, and then just complain about it and sit back and say, oh yeah, that guy who's calling us crackheads, he's good enough to make decisions for me. If he is, kudos, vote for him. But if you're as annoyed as I am about a representative calling his people crackheads, yeah. And I know he didn't call people crackheads, by the way. They've just got a good clip of him saying, call it crackhead. So, but hit me up, socials. Love you guys. Thank you. See ya. Okay. There's still 12 people watching while I call people crackheads. Call crackhead. Gary Chambers. If you are in Louisiana, I like that man. I like him a lot. I may not agree with him politically, 100%, but I like him. His fire is what I like. I just hate Kennedy. I think Kennedy's part of the problem instead of being part of the solution. That man is so condescending to absolutely everybody. I think Chambers has more of a welcoming spirit, a welcoming aura. I like him. I like him a lot. So let's look at Boyle. And I was serious. I got a bunch of messages. Did you buy Boyle? Look at it today. It's up. It's up. Ooh. Boyle's at 42. It's doing a full round trip. A complete round trip. I hope you people got out. Anybody on YouTube buy Boyle? I hope you got out. Remember, this is a trading stock. This isn't one that, you're investing in liquid natural gas. Which brings me up to a good point. Let me go back to Safari. One that I have loved on the natural gas part is LNG, and they reported earnings. And they are down at 170. So, and out of the algorithm with a 2% loss. It was just overbought. Did they actually lose 9? Earnings surprise down 275%. Wow. That must be an accounting thing. Let me see. LNG. Let's look at some articles here. Jeffries, $210 October 19th. It's trading at 170. U.S. and EU argue over claims of gas crisis profiteering. The Financial Times. I ain't paying your money for Financial Times. Cheniere cleared to return Louisiana State tank, LNG tank after 2018 leak. Still poised for growth. I hate Zacks. But Apple falls on iPhone warning. Let's see. This is probably earnings. Earnings related. Investors Daily. Where's Cheniere is an IBDBO leaderboard stock. Among the top stocks to buy and watch are Arista, Cheniere. Costco's one that I like. You know what? I'm putting these on for tomorrow. Because Costco I like. Let's see, Wednesday. LNG, Costco, United Health. I mean, look at that list. That's a great list. Arista Networks, great company. Cheniere Energy, great company. Dollar General, great company. Pure Storage, Data Play, great company. Chevron, great company. UNH, great company. Yeah. If you want a list of companies, man, there is not it is not hard to find. It is significantly easy. 5 stocks to buy: UNH, Arista, Tesla, Apple. I still think Apple's a good one, but if we go back and we look at Apple, remember, this is my entire portfolio. So while yesterday was up pretty much because Apple was down, I was, it runs my portfolio. But look at this. See, here's the thing. You had your dividend. Look at that severe MACD, and you're coming in, and the RSI is only at 40. 40 is no man's land on RSI. You want that RSI closer to 20 before you actually pull the trigger to buy. Apple's not one that the algorithm makes you 31%, buying and holding makes you 17%. But that's over 1,000 candles. So if we were to look at this one, this is a weekly going all the way back to 2015. How are you timing this? Again, if you're just looking at a week, how are you timing it? Because it's just flattened out. Hasn't really gone down on a weekly basis, just flattened out. This is January where it was at its high. Right back here. You're fine. Don't at me with the Apple. Apple sucks. Don't at me with that one. But I will look at LNH, Costco. We're going to look at Cliffs. We're going to look at Boyle. We're going to look at SOXL, AMD. I like Uber still because I think you can buy Uber. Is Uber a buy in my? I think Uber's not a buy in my algorithm. No, it's not. It got you out with this 10% gain, which is a great gain. I mean, what's that, 1% one day? Yeah. Well, no, I'm sorry. So here it is. 27 on October 18th, and you sell up here because the MACD crossed down. So, but let's go to our first love, which is Boyle. 4 minutes till we open. Anybody want to get? Okay, here's what we're going to do. There's 13 people watching. I expect absolutely everybody to vote in this one. I don't know. Can I put up a poll here? Boyle right now is trading at $43. Will it open up in 4 minutes below $43 or above $43? Let me put this in. Will Boyle open above or below $43 in 4 minutes? My guess, below. Go ahead and guess. I don't know if you can do a poll. I guess I can do a poll. I just don't know if I can do a poll. I'm not that good with this shit. My guess below. I expect every one of you to comment on that. So I should see 14 votes. But I don't know how you vote. You just chat. I'm watching on my iPad, by the way. Here. If I go, I'm going to go to that view. And then video capture. Properties. Here. That's where I watch you guys. Right over there. So I watch. Reggie. Yeah, Jesse, I'm with you. Okay, I'm disconnecting this. And we'll go back to Safari View. Oh, now I've got properties. No. FaceTime. Okay. I messed that up. We are 1 minute to opening. I'm going back to Active Trader Pro. We're going to watch Boyle. It's hanging in there above. 2 minutes. I'm going to quit this. Quit GarageBand. So by the way, I have a garbage truck coming by. I blew leaves around my yard all day yesterday and was giggling like a little schoolgirl at the term blowing leaves. I thought it was funny. I kept giggling at it. Take Two Interactive. Oh, I should bring up Activision Blizzard. Let me put that in the notes for tomorrow. Activision Microsoft deal. If you remember, Warren Buffett bet big on that. And how in the world did I have 13 people watching and only 2 votes? Oh, well. Plug it in with a cable. Oh, I guess I can plug in. I should plug in the iPhone with a cable, and I should use that. Although, you know what? Screw it. I can always do that with my MacBook. Insert add transition. Which transition should I have? Let's see. It opened up below. 4293. And I think I get like 50 watches on YouTube per day. Nobody comments. People should comment, but nobody comments. I'm going to put in P-code again. I know. See? Reggie? 3 for 3. I'm posting the podcast now. So if I were to day trade this one, I'm going to go to a 1-minute chart. I got to go to today. And let's look at a 1-minute chart. Oh, God. Active Trader Pro is doing this to me again. Where I can't change. There we go. It's got no confirmation. It's below that 9-day and the 21-day. In the middle of... Oh, by the way, TQQQ. Did I call it yesterday at 17? Should have bought it 17. No, it doesn't count it. So I can't even, when I go back in, because usually what I do, Jesse, is I will look at the YouTube live. It shows up. So I've got 4 Google accounts. And all have YouTube accounts attached to them. There's my personal one. There's an adventure one, which I wanted to start with a company that I was going to start up, guiding people on tours. And then there's this one. And my other one doesn't really have a YouTube, but I use it as a private YouTube to post some drone videos. Like, for instance, my buddy Daryl, his estate down in Florida. I flew the drone around. I think he's got like 70 acres, 80 acres down there. And he's got like 4 houses on the property. And I flew the drone around there. And to post something like that, didn't want to do it on my personal channel because then all my friends are like, well, where's this? You know, who owns this? You know, just goofy shit. Then then this channel, I'm not going to post drone videos on this channel because nobody who subscribes to this channel cares about fucking drone videos. And I'm not trying to flex with an 80-acre drone video of 4 houses, you know, luxury houses and stuff like that. So I'm not posting it there. So then I got this one. And when I go back and I look at this one, it shows up in my personal feed as, hey, Gary did a live video. And I can go back in and I can look at it. And I look at it for quality. I can't see the chat. I don't see the live chat. So I don't know how to look at the live chat, honestly. I think when you watch it, you can see the live chat. But yeah, we're at 4265. Save episode. I've got to go in and post this podcast now. Boyle hit. Maybe the title today should be Did you cash out of Boyle? Support the podcast. What will the podcast title be today? I think it's stocks to buy for today ahead of earnings. I'll say 10% gain, whatever. Market update 11.8. I have found, I got to tell you guys, clickbait works. Clickbait works on the titles. I'll get significant here. So I will. Who's texting me? Nobody that I care about. Who's calling me? Nobody that I care about. So if I go into Anchor and I look at analytics and my top 10 episodes, stocks to buy now, September 15th. Oversold stocks to buy now. Buy energy on weakness. What to buy now? Tons of opportunities today. Want to make money? Inflation just killed the market. Buy now. Huge winners this week. Those are my top 10 episodes. Other than the one where, it was June 17th, 2021. I had been off the podcast for 6 months, and I posted an update. And this was right before I had my algorithm kind of locked down. And I just posted an update that I was working on it, blah, blah, blah. And it was June 17th. If you want to look at it, I think it's a horrible episode. Let me see. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up after I do this post this. And by the way, anybody get in on Sedge, man? Sedge was so good. And it was set up so perfectly. I could kill myself for working last week. I did get a message from Major League Soccer that I've got a bunch of events next year. So I'm happy about that. I love those guys. Man, if I could get out there and tell you guys and actually make a difference and make Major League Soccer more popular, I would. Because I just think the team that puts that together So on Twitter, I've been getting, I guess the algorithm works pretty well, but I've been getting these, hey, there's 7 things you can do better in your life, blah, 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 this whole thing. This is 7 apps that will make you feel 1% better every day. Strong app, level up your fitness. The simple act of tracking your workouts can skyrocket your gains. To-do list is another app. Insight timer. This is a amazing insight, mindfulness course. Notion. Habit tracker, budget tracker, project manager. Notion's great. They have a paid version of Notion, which is better. Pocket. I don't like Pocket. I've tried Pocket. Don't use it. Deep Stash. Collects the best articles from around the way and breaks them down into more digestible chunks. Probably won't use it. Mint. If you guys are on this channel watching and you don't use Mint or some other budget slash expense, download Mint. Do I get a... Hold on. I got to see if I get Mint. If I get a referral for Mint. I usually don't go into Mint during the day because it fucks up my Fidelity shit. Man, I'm going to see if I get it. I think some of these give you like $10 if you refer people. So let me see. Notification accounts. Let's see. Do I get accounts? No, that's not it. Let me see. Refer. Program for Mint. Mint Mobile. No, I don't want Mint. For Mint.com. Boy, Mint Mobile is probably pissed at Mint. Yeah, that's what I mean. Referral program. No. Mint Partner Program. It's bringing up. Ugh. There we go. The referrer gets $10 gift card when you sign up for Intuit's Mint using their Mint referral code. Our referral fee. Oh, I don't want... No, you're not getting my... You're not getting that. Let me see. Let me see if I go to mint.com. I'm going to need to... I got to make sure you folks can't see this. Sign in. Jesse, yeah. If you're not using Mint, wait till I get you this referral code. Because I don't want to give up $10. Oh, it went to my Gmail. Jim Cramer. I'm sorry. We found your accounts. I don't care about the 2015 account. What? Ugh. What? Okay. Oh, check my phone. This one went to my phone now. Mint is kind of screwy. Okay. I gotta post this podcast too. See, I just get taken down this road. Marketplace. Do I care about my credit score? I should, but I don't. Tax Hub. Boy, they've redone their website. One account needs my attention. Bullshit, my account needs attention. It does not. I have an Apple Card. Okay, help. I'm going to type in referral. Because I got to put this in my link tree, man. It's $10. I've had people sign up for... No, I guess not. I've had people sign up for Visible service. So I get, essentially almost a free cell phone every time you guys do that. Invest, find rewards. I don't care about that. I don't want rewards. See offers and checking. Go to all. Zero results. Student loans. Boy, this is interesting. Auto loans. Intuit account. I've got a nanny parking in my driveway. Review address. That's right. Save. I'm unemployed. Okay. I want to go to Mint. You're heading to Mint. Okay. Let me get to Mint. Yeah, I'll look it up. Let me just look to see if this is the damn... I guess not. Income and Tax Hub. Still wants to track my refund. Insights. See, I wish Mint had a... Okay. Jesse, I'll look up ENPH in 2 seconds. Let me just post this. It's earnings week. And several stocks report after the bell today. Sage posted earnings. Disney, AMC, Upstart, Oxy, Mara, Affirm, Boyle, KO, what's the other one? BAC. And AXP. Earnings Whisper, Cloud9, Five9, Uber, Lyft. Why I didn't buy Boyle, Nvidia, LMT, AMD, SOXL, Cleveland Cliffs. I want to see. I love these energy stocks, man. They've just killed it since the summer. They got killed with the downturn, and then boom. I think I do like that UPS play too. Okay, let's do this. Boom. Okay, we're going to... Enphase reported earnings, I think. Or no, it got wrapped up in that Sedge earnings. Let me tweet this out, Jesse. Twitter. I should post it in Facebook. I'll post this in Facebook today. I should post it in Facebook because I'm not as active as I told you guys I would be in Facebook, just because it's annoying, man. I gotta tell you, I'm not in Facebook. I look at my memories in Facebook, and then I'm out of Facebook. That's typically what I use it for. If I ever post something on Facebook. It's usually something that I'm doing epic, like climbing a mountain or vacation or something like that. But other than that, man, I'm not using Facebook whatsoever. So, I don't need Boyle again. NVIDIA. LMT. Alvin, I like LMT. I hope I didn't talk you out of that one because it's a good stock. We're going to pull some of these out. And what I'm going to do is, boom. Okay. And then we're going to tweet. And then we're going to tweet this one. Twitter. Then we're going to tweet again. And hope that the algorithm and I can post. You know what? Let's look at the most actives. Move this over here. We'll do Tesla ride. I had SQQQ in the other one. Neo. Amazon. Spy. Coin. LabU. DWAC. I'll get a bunch of direct messages about how I'm a traitor to the United States. Take Two. Baba. No, that's it. Okay, we'll post this. Tweet. And then I will look at ENPH for you, Jesse, now. Who's these mofos? Huh. Interesting. I just read this. If you're a landlord and you've got an immigrant who's coming over here but isn't sponsored but wants to rent your place and prepays you for 1 year, there's a lot of landlords who say no. It's interesting. Never thought about that, but it is true. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go to the Safari view. ENPH, I think, is one that had a killer. Oh, stop. Why did I do that? ENPH. It just got you out with a 7% gain. There's a gap here at 255 to 263, and you're on the downside. You're using the 200-day as support, and your 200 days at 262. You're trading at 277. Earnings are definitely going up. Let's see. Your PE's at 131. God. I know it's a solar company. I know it's growing. I know their earnings are just exploding. But why would you put money into Enphase at 131 versus... Look at Tesla. Remember, Tesla has a solar portion. It hasn't grown. Elon bought Solar City. And people forget that. And their PE is 60, and that's considered crazy expensive. But it's because, they spend a lot, and their solar division has not done well at all. He has not focused on solar. The solar roof tiles that he promised have not been good, to say the least. But I don't know. I just don't know enough about that space to know, why would you buy this instead of this? It just seems to me like I'd probably rather have Tesla than Enphase. But right now you're out of both. I mean, honestly, look at that MACD crossing down. Your RSI's at 48. You are using that 200-day as support level. So if it does break that 200-day, I think you can count on it coming back. But that's in a good market, Jesse. Lord knows what this market's going to do. Look at ARC F. Fucker's down 2% today. By the way, I was looking at my ARCs. I was up probably July of last year. I had all 4 ARC funds. I want to say I had $200,000, $300,000 profit. It's back to even. I couldn't sell out. I have tax implications when it comes to that. Baba's down 3%. Fucking China. Let's see. I'm going to leave at 10 o'clock too. I'm going to cut these podcasts down to a little shorter. Fuck, man. I'm up. My portfolio is up slightly. 0.11. But that's nowhere close to any of the indices, which is 0.64, 0.36, 0.33. So I am not keeping up. And I got another podcast today at 3 o'clock. So if you guys... Yeah, so... Here. I'll show you why Baba's not bouncing. PE of 34. Last one was market to outperform. But look. 3-year loss for Alibaba Group shareholders likely driven by its shrinking earnings. I saw that and I said, yeah. The Singles Day shopping festival sucked. Read those stories, Jesse. I don't know why I stay in that one, but I do. By the way, SOXL over 10. TQQQ still under 20. Still under 19. Boyle. Here. Boyle's starting to get a little confirmation. I don't think it's going back to 50 today, but it's getting a little. People just, I'm telling you, it was the hype. It was the hype. Oh, okay. I am done for the day. I am going for my run. I'm going to try and lose some weight because my fat ass needs it. I didn't have ice cream in LA, but man. Yeah, by the way, if you're on FinViz, Bing Bang Bong just tweeted about Baba. If you don't know, if you go down on FinViz, down to the bottom, it tracks the $ and the hashtag. It's kind of cool. on the right-hand side here. Safari view. Down right behind my picture there, you can see it tracks the hashtag. And Bing Bang Bong says, some big fucking corrupt whale bank Wall Street sat on top of Baba pushing through sales. USA so bent. So Big Dick Rahaki says, wait for 66, then buy long. Like BBB 2442 says, bought more. The audit is done in 4 weeks and earnings will blow out. You must be insane to short at this bottom. Let's look at the chart of Baba. I have it in my portfolio holdings. It's down 4%. Where's my volume? Their earnings are coming up. I guess they're getting ready for more talk of Chinese slowdowns. Let's pull this back. We're back in 2019. We're going to go back to where it was, these levels, 2016. So you've got no support down here. See, it came outside the Bollinger Bands, had to come back in. Here, October 24th was the week. Its low was 58. Yeah. We all listen to Big Dick on FinViz, Jesse. It was interesting. God, the ARKs are getting killed. ARKs are getting killed, by the way, and we're back into. You know what? Let me see. Can I? I guess I can't. I'd have to change the so you guys can't see the chart much, but the algorithm loses you 59% on Baba. 35 positions, which is big. 26% wins. Your average win is only 6%. Baba hasn't made sense to hold. So, okay, 10:01. I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow. I'll post something on Facebook maybe later today. Boyle at 42. Boyle's breaking below 42. TQQQ still up there. Below 19.